You are now tuned in to the GNWY Podcast.
I'm trying to get my son to go to Langston. He's like, what? Why would I go to Langston when I make you go to Harvard? I'm like, how you going to Harvard? Like,
Son, you're grounded.
Like, what? Where did you come up with that? Like, why would I go there when I'm gonna go to Harvard? Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the intro and then go right into it. Is that cool? And it's gonna be normal conversation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pre-warn you, it's a normal conversation.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? We talk about everything.
Everything.
So I can ask you about this. What do you call these things? The charger plugged into your couch.
Yeah.
How legit is that? You got a charger that I can charge my phone.
So we can go.
You can start it at any time. Like we can do this whole thing. You can start it at the end, cut it, and put it at the beginning. I'm familiar with this. I know how this works. Why are you talking to me like I don't know how this works?
I was trying to help out our editor. My bad. I'm sorry.
He'll know. He's sitting here. He'll just say, right. Man, okay, this went 55 minutes at about, like, what do you...
I wanted to intro you.
But I want to talk about this charger on the side. I'm the guest, man. You don't control the conversation when a guest comes into their house. It's kind of like, what do you want to drink, right? I want Kool-Aid. You don't say, I'm going to give you Coke. You just don't do that when a guest comes in. Go ahead, man. Start. It's your world. You're the one born from the womb.
Oh, man.
Guys, that was great. That was great. I should just figure out how to do a meme with that. Born from the womb, a G. Go ahead, man. Man, would you please start this podcast?
You're looking at the time.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, we're gonna officially start in 3, 2.
Why are you counting down? Oh, you're gonna clap. Oh, do you? How do y'all sync?
We gotta sync the audio.
What are y'all using around here? Your stuff doesn't sync it for you. What in the world? Go ahead and clap, man. Make it official. Make it feel like Hollywood production.
Oh God.
You don't have a clapboard.
I don't.
Okay. Go ahead. So if you're not going to start, can we talk about the charger to the side of the couch? Do you have it on both sides?
3, 2, 1, action. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another GNWY podcast. And I'm super excited to have this guy.
Heady.
Let me get I was going to get the name.
I thought you forgot it.
No. Goodness. Let me get the intro, okay? I'm working my way up. I'm building this up, okay? He's not only the mayor of Guthrie. Everybody knows him. You walk into Guthrie, you say Heady. Everybody says where. Everybody says where's the cookies at. And so everybody knows Heady is around. Not only for his kindness, not only for his Red Sox. He is known for the star greeter everywhere, right? Oklahoma City, Heady, everybody knows you, right? Holding it down.
He didn't eat.
I'm super excited to have this guy on. If you can, make some noise one time for Heady Coleman, everybody. Yeah. See, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good.
You were giving me a hard time before we started this, and I hope we'll keep every single bit of it.
I hope so. That was great. Why wouldn't you not?
Yo, you are wild. For one, I really appreciate you taking the time, man, to even come up here. I mean, you drove, 45 minutes?
I didn't.
Something.
Yeah. I think it was 32 minutes, actually, when I put it into the Apple Maps.
Okay. I'll
Do you use Apple Maps or Google?
Google or Apple Maps, yeah.
You use Apple? Okay.
Yeah.
Because, that's the thing. Like, my wife won't use Apple. She only uses Google Maps.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
They
say, I think it's because Google came out first. And you know how when you first come out, when the first thing comes out, it's kind of like, no, this is,
yeah. And that's all she has an Apple, like iPhone.
She has an iPhone.
What?
She doesn't use she used Gmail app for her email.
Okay.
Even though the phone has a email app on it, which would definitely work better with the phone because it was built for the phone.
Right.
I don't know.
Bro, I'm excited that you're on this podcast, man. So
I'm proud of you. Let me say I'm proud of you. I watched a couple of your you don't mind me saying this?
What? Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm proud. I saw some of y'all stuff on Instagram, like the talent show and all. Yeah, that stuff is hot, man.
Why
That's
didn't
cool.
you go live with us? You could have had a talent. I know you got talent.
No.
You've got jokes. You've got jokes.
I don't have jokes.
You could give a motivational speech.
I don't even know if I could do that.
Heady. So this man is known for a lot of things, but a big thing a lot of people are recognize you for, and you're known for, and what even before I even met up with you, everybody's like, you need to meet with Heady. Whenever I was talking about nonprofit or motivational speaking or anything like that, and they were like, you need to meet with Heady, and I was like, who's Heady? Okay. Yeah. And then finally meet you, and then it all makes sense. It all lines up, and I'm like, yo, this makes perfect sense, And so everybody knows you for your smile, your greeting, you're all about the people. And so tell me, bro, where all of that kind of stems from, why you have such a big passion for people.
Yeah, for me, I think growing up, I have always been somewhat of a people person, but it wasn't until I really came to know Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior that it was like, oh, this is what it's really all about. It's about people.
Yeah.
And how do we connect and serve people in a way that helps move them forward in life.
Right.
And so once I really started grasping those things, it was just kind of like everything that I did, I want to try to make a connection with people, either making them smile, laugh, inspire them, connecting them to something that's going to help them go forward in life, which is generally, for me, people.
Yeah.
Like, how can I help Jordan get further down the road in his mission of doing whatever he's doing?
Right.
There's always somebody that I can think through or connect them with.
Yeah.
And so that's just one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, definitely. So you're a pastor, you're a motivational speaker, and name some other things. You're a professional greeter. People ask you to go to their events so that you can open the door and greet for people.
And that would be my full-time job if I could.
And so this Corona thing is probably hitting you hard.
Oh, man. So, I won't lie.
Shake people's hands and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that keeps me from doing things that I love in that sense.
Yeah.
But then, you get to spend more time with family.
Right.
I probably have produced more podcasts because of it.
You're on your 85th?
83rd, yeah, 84 comes out tomorrow.
I'm trying to get like you, bro.
Man, I'm trying to get to 100.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
It's so fun, though.
Yeah.
Like doing this, what we're doing now, of course,
Yeah.
It's the best, man.
It is dope, man. So, that's what blows me away is, people legit ask you to come to their events to greet for them, because you set the tone. How do you see that greeting and setting the tone for somebody to feel comfortable to come into an environment to be themselves? How do you see as an important job?
Yeah, so I used to do this event called We Tell Stories.
Yep.
And so a lot of people that you probably know, Cam.
When did you start? You got to remember. For the people that don't know, how long ago did We Tell Stories start?
So We Tell Stories started in 1999, 2000.
Wow.
And just the backstory on that, it was before Harkins Theaters where it's at now. I would bring people out there, and we would sit out on blankets, and I started doing this thing called Question of the Night, where we would all just kind of get together. Somebody would ask a question, and anybody in the group can answer it.
Yeah.
And then once that person answered the question, they could either change the question or give it to somebody else to answer. And in that, we started adding things like poetry or music. And because of the weather, we ended up moving inside. I think the first place we ever did it was Bricktown Brewery.
Okay.
And so we just took a corner and just kind of invaded it.
Wow.
And
how many people were showing up to that?
Maybe at that time, maybe 30 or 40.
Wow.
30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
And then we moved into Java Days, which is now Camps 1910.
Yeah.
And man, from there, we probably did it there maybe 10 years on and off. When we were having a baby or something, my wife and I, we would chill. But man, we were having to turn people away, wrapping around the corner. And so
that's crazy.
In that, I would always ask, like, what did you enjoy most about the event? And people would be like, it was just the way that when I left, the way I felt, because you all were standing out there greeting people as they left.
Wow.
Or we were greeting people while they were standing in line. We would go out there and shake hands and just talk to people. And in that, I knew that, and not even beyond church, like now churches have greeters and things like that, and it's really a big deal. But at that time, I started recognizing that how people entered would really determine how they took in the event.
And how they leave.
And how they leave, right? Wow. So you come in happy, feeling like somebody cared about me, somebody spoke to me. Yeah. You leave that same way. Yeah. And so when you get home and you jump on, at that time, maybe texting somebody or emailing somebody, and you tell them about this event, it was like, man, that event was great. I don't know what it was. But it was good. That's
crazy. So setting the tone is really like the most important thing for you. You feel like,
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. And the meat of whatever the event is essential too. But I just think you just never can be greeting somebody before they come to an event.
For sure, because I mean that's the the ultimate the things that people feel most comfortable with is if, like, I'm probably never going to go back to this event if I didn't feel welcome or acknowledged or, comfortable in that situation. Yeah. Right. So, that's a huge thing, man. And so professional greeter, get them at any event that you got going on. So, but also you're a motivational speaker, bro. So how'd you get caught up in doing that?
Well, so it started with a hashtag. And so every time I would text somebody or social media wasn't out then, but just texting people, I would always hashtag GNWY.
GNWY, yeah.
And so, because it's just always this thing of how can I encourage people? Like, if the only gift that I have, like, people like you have multiple gifts. You can rap, you can dance, you're a good communicator. You have a great smile. You leadership.
Go, keep going.
You have all these gifts, right?
Yeah.
I have one gift.
No, you don't.
I can encourage somebody, And so in that, I just always use this hashtag GNWY. Yeah. And then people's like, what does GNWY mean? And so I came up with a definition where GNWY is defined as continuing or starting those right things, being consistent in those right things that allow for you to achieve the wins that you want for your life to live out your greatest story. And so I was like, this is what GNWY means, because it's all about this consistency. Yeah. And then people was like, they wanted more. And so then I started a workshop, and then we built out a GNWY packet. Yeah. And then I started going out and doing talks around GNWY. So a talk may not be specifically titled GNWY, but in the meat of it, the gist of it is the GNWY principles.
Definitely. And how many schools have you feel like you've been in? Or is it just mainly schools that you're doing your motivational speaking, or is it?
Man, so rarely did I do schools at all.
Really?
And then people started asking me to come and speak with students.
Yeah.
But I primarily did workshops and things for adults.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know how many schools, especially since my connection with Paradigm Shift, which oftentimes brings me in to do different things. But I've been to a lot of schools and spoke to a lot of students. And I have a mentoring program in a middle school and a junior high.
And that's through like a curriculum that you came up with? Or?
So, no, not really. I mean, again, the principle of GNWY is always something that I'm encouraging people. So what are those right things you need to be consistent in? Yeah. Some of them may not be things like, oh, I'm trying to cross that finish line. Yeah. But kindness is something that everybody should be like, being kind and those things. So one is called We Shake Hands. And it's based around characteristic traits like kindness, honesty, those kind of things. And then the other program is more of a speaker program, so where we bring in different people in the community so they can tell their story. So these students in 8th grade, 8th and 7th grade, can begin to see this big picture of living in the community that I want them to consider staying in. Yeah. Shout out to my man right here who graduated from Edmond, staying at UCO, which is in Edmond. Like, I want to see people, if they leave, these students leave someday, at least consider coming back home. Right. So we give them this vision of what it could look like to work in our community, being a leader in our community.
And you're all about that, especially in Guthrie, because everywhere that we went, around the town, and you were taking us, is like you always wanted to make sure it was like either a local shop or like a local venue or something like that. And so, where's that drive from, and like why do you feel like it's such an importance to like invest back into the place that you're at?
Yeah, I mean, even in, let's say, Oklahoma City, where we're at right now, it's always important that people are investing back into their community because without small businesses and things of that nature, we just don't exist.
Yeah.
And even more so in smaller communities where Guthrie's 30 miles north of Oklahoma City, less than that from Edmond, where there's a lot of different types of shopping. Yeah. The variety is much bigger. So I really just try to communicate the importance to our town. We use the hashtag Choose Guthrie. We use the hashtag Community Wins. Because if you don't invest, and I understand sometimes you got to go to the city for things, but how can we continue to make it a priority to do date nights and shop at the donut shop or go to the boutique that's in Guthrie, do those things in our community? Because the sales tax from those things are what allows for us to have police officers, good roads, and things of that nature. And if we don't have the revenue for those things, our officers continue to leave to go find better jobs elsewhere. So those things are just important that we continue to invest back in our community, which that's every Oklahoma City, everybody.
Right. That's good. So like, I mean, what's some ideas for even people like that are, trying to invest or find things to do in their community or anything? What's your favorite thing? Actually, we'll go to this. What's your favorite thing to do in Guthrie for anybody that's going to Guthrie, going out that way? Oh
my goodness. I think you make a day trip out of going probably eating is always one of the, so you have Missy's Donut Shop, which makes not just great donuts, but great sandwiches.
Really?
You got to check them out. So they're open until about 8 p.m., I think. Missy's.
Missy's.
Missy's Donuts is right off the highway, if your second exit into Guthrie, America, if you're coming that way. I would say go to Rick's to get some chocolate.
Okay.
So it's a little chocolate store there, but they also serve coffee. But we have Hoboken Coffee Shop there that everybody knows. I mean, it's a very popular place, not just in Guthrie.
Was that the one you took us to?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and
the man bought everybody. No, you. What do you? Okay, so we went up to the counter. For one, everybody's like, Heady, and then we go up to the counter. And he's like, oh, those fresh cookies. They're like, yeah, of course. Like, let me get all of them. Okay, and then he gets a big old plate. Okay, full stack. Hi, I don't care, right? And he goes around to everybody in the coffee shop. It's like, have a blessed day. Have a blessed, all this stuff. And I'm like, Heady, you're embarrassing me. No, I'm playing. But it was just so dope. Like, everybody in there, for one, either knew you or, like, knew about you. And then you just carried on conversations. Obviously, people are just probably there for the cookies. But, no, I'm playing. But it's like they legit cared and could care or could see that you cared, in that moment. My bad. Go ahead.
You think about it. Those cookies probably were $20. And so a dollar piece or something like that.
Yeah.
And you get to make a moment for people.
Right.
A lot of times people who come to Hoboken aren't from Guthrie. So when they leave, now they're going to have this story of like some guy in Guthrie, right? So you're creating these moments for people that whenever they leave, they're going to go tell those moments.
Yeah.
If I just walked in there with just my, normal, go get my coffee, sat down.
Yeah.
But I have the opportunity to have 16 people sit in this coffee shop, leave, and tell a story about being in Guthrie if they're not from Guthrie, or to go home and tell somebody, man, I saw Heady at the store. Because these are the things that we want to see more of, and then we want people to always be thinking about Guthrie in a positive light versus a negative.
I think there was a lady that came in line that was not either from there or she just was there for a meeting or something like that. And then that same experience that you're talking about is like, she's not from there. And then she was like, are you serious? I just got a free cookie or whatever. It's like, this man just bought me a cookie.
Yeah.
And everybody in the background, Heady, it's like Q or something,
But just think about it. It's a dollar.
Yeah.
That could be... I always think about people who invest, boost post in social media.
Right.
Well, what if you took that $100 and went out to the local coffee shop and bought 10 people a coffee? Like that story's gonna go further than you paying however $100 on Facebook.
You don't even know who it's going to.
You don't even know who it's going to.
Right.
But you're going to have that moment, right? And then what if you took a selfie with everybody that you bought a coffee for and say, hey, I just want to give you a shout out on social media. And then I'm going to tag you. Now they go and then they're going to share it.
Yeah. Wow.
So how would you spend your $100?
You really are a good marketer, bro. That's really good. Right when we leave here, mark it down. We're gonna go buy some cookies. Okay, that's amazing, bro.
But I still like to be kind too. Like
right.
That's who I am by nature. But at the same time, this is gonna let people go tell stories.
Definitely. So. And I'm telling the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's
we're on your podcast. You got thousands of people who's gonna watch this.
We'll see.
They're gonna be like, man, I never thought about.
I need to go to Guthrie.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Please come. Text me, message me. I'm Heady.Coleman on Instagram. If you come, DM me so we can connect.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So, okay, you got to tell us what inspired the Red Sox.
Oh, man. So
show it for the people. I don't know if they can see it or not.
Oh, man, I'm old, man. I can't.
Sorry, my fault. Yeah. My fault. Red Sox.
I don't know if you
with
see it
the
or not.
Yeezys. Okay. Yeah. Those eyes? What is it? What's on the side? Their eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's smiley face. I'm not sure.
A little drip. Okay.
The Red Sox is so. I always want to do like this minimalist lifestyle. Like, how can I approach life in the simplest way?
Yeah.
So that way I can devote more time to loving people. Like, so the less I have, the less money that I have to make in order to keep up this lifestyle. So versus always going to work somewhere, now I can spend more time just out loving folks and taking $20, right, to impact 20 people's lives.
Wow.
And so socks is just one of those ways. Like, I don't get up and think about, man, which because I used to have like bags full of socks, right? Now I just go and I grab, like they're all the same.
They're all red.
They're all red. And so in that too, it's a story.
Yeah.
So now you're asking me about my Red Sox. People everywhere I go, now people text me when they're wearing Red Sox.
Yeah.
Not like it's 1,000 of people texting me, but you know what I'm saying. So now we're creating these. It's all about how do you create a story that we can tell people, or people are going to ask you about. You create these moments. You get to touch people.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, and it's a simple way to do it.
And so, even going back to the We Tell Stories, that started out as a reading program, right? Or
Okay. So I left college to do AmeriCorps.
Okay.
And my AmeriCorps assignment was the Literacy Council at Downtown Library. Okay. It was in the basement. It's the old library before the one that they built now. And at the Literacy Council, I just started learning about people being functionally illiterate. Like, I had no clue that people were functionally illiterate, meaning like they could read a stop sign, they could read their name.
Like all the basic things,
But they couldn't. But then in that, I started learning how many people did not read after graduating high school or college. Like, for them to pick up a book and read was not something, and the percentage was high. I don't remember the percentages now. So when we started doing We Tell Stories, one of the things that I always pushed was, hey, go read a book or something like just encouraging people to read and then share your story.
This was in college still?
So once I left college to do AmeriCorps, I didn't go back for a little while before I went and finished. But I was just wanting to promote reading. That's dope. And in that, once I started doing the We Tell Story thing, I started getting opportunities. And so I'm like, well, I don't know. Why would I go back to college? Like, I'm getting to do I'm going to do this stuff.
I'm already doing it. So.
I'm already doing it. So I ended up leaving college to do AmeriCorps, which is a great experience. Definitely. And in that, just being reminded that, one, not everybody can read, and then two, there's a lot of people who could read but wasn't taking advantage of a great gift.
Definitely, yeah. I think I've heard you say it the most out of anybody that I've really heard. But like leaders are readers, are readers, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard you say that in multiple speaking engagements and stuff like that. And that's stuck, So I mean, maybe it was the Red Sox, maybe it was you saying it was, but it's it connected really well whenever you were saying it.
And I don't think it has to be a book either. Like there's blogs, those are all sorts of ways that you can read and take in information.
Definitely. I think that's what's dope about podcasts now. Is like, I mean, you can learn a lot from just people talking as well. Yeah. So, but I think reading is highly important. Too,
No.
I need to get better at it, but
for sure,
it is what it is.
Yeah. So what I do is I don't know if you do this. Do you have are you a routine guy? Like do you have a morning routine?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I use an app called Productivity in Notion.
Okay.
And in that, I only ask myself to read 20 pages every morning when I wake up.
Okay.
And so if you read 20 pages, just at that moment, read 20 pages. Now, I'm going to read other things throughout the day. Yeah. But then I go check it off in my production app, and then I can see how many days in a row I read. And
That's awesome.
And then Notion, I have a daily planner. If you don't have Notion, get Notion because you can build out so many different ways of doing things. So in my daily planner for Notion, each day I go so today, May 4th, and then in it, at the top of it, it has everything that I want to do every day.
Yeah.
Then the next thing, it has my verse. What is the verse that I'm going to read and take with me throughout the day after I do my reading plan?
Yeah.
Then the next thing is my list of handwritten notes. Who did I send handwritten notes to today?
That's dope.
And then it has my schedule. Notion is just fabulous.
Notion. Okay.
Notion, yeah.
I'm going to have to need to all get Notion. Okay.
Notion is legit.
Jeez.
Do you have Notion?
No, I just wrote the note down.
Oh yeah, Notion and productivity app. That's a great. It's just a simple way to track. So going back to go win is like what are those right things to be consistent in?
Yeah.
Like how do you know you're consistent? Something like productivity kind of helps you see.
And that's that's what you have to get done in the morning though.
Yeah. I have so in the mornings what I like to get done is read 20 pages, 3 handwritten notes every day.
And that's to your family or just anybody?
3. So it kind of varies. I kind of look at my calendar, see who I came in contact with.
Yeah.
I'll look on social media. Is there somebody in town that I want to randomly? Sometimes the hardest part is finding people's addresses, but who do I want to just randomly? Because some of it is like, I got a handwritten note from Heady, and so the cool thing, man, I'm telling you, the cool thing is when I go in people's offices and they have those notes up.
Wow.
Oh man, like that's
dope.
That's great. So it's a various different ways that I look at that, and so then brush and floss.
You say what was it?
Brush and floss my teeth.
Brush and floss.
So mainly it's not the brushing part; it's the flossing that I'm really trying to track.
Like, is this another app? Okay, yeah.
So no, that's things on my list. 20 pages. My reading plan, my Bible.
Yeah.
And I think that's my calendar. Look at my calendar. Because sometimes I'll just start my day and have not looked at my calendar. And like, I forgot I was supposed to go meet with
Jordan
at 11. So.
Right.
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's awesome. I think that's super important for people to have a routine. So when do you update it? Do you update the next day at night, or is it update itself and you just gotta follow it?
So the productivity app is updated once you click it. It starts the next day. My Notion, that piece, which I'm checking off twice, really. Yeah. But Notion doesn't show me it doesn't have a
progress.
It doesn't show my progress. So Notion, I duplicate every day. Okay. So I have a blank one, and then I duplicate and I put the date for that day. Yeah.
That's good. So I would consider you definitely like an entrepreneur, man. So like in multiple ways, like you create not only like the atmosphere of a room. I mean, you pastor and everything like that, but you are creating things, whether whether it's either a business or like just things for people to enjoy. Like how would you, to somebody that's out there, how would you encourage them to like follow that, like whatever they're passionate about, to be able to develop that and just start it?
Yeah, I think just started one. But oftentimes people have challenges really understanding what that is, like what they're passionate about.
Right.
What is that thing? So you always get people like, I don't know. So I think one is just to start asking people around them.
Yeah. Like,
what is it that what do people ask you the most to do? So if people are constantly asking me to come and would you come and speak and encourage my people?
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe that's something in me that I need to really focus on.
Yeah.
Which if you get caught up in the world, like, oh man, I want to dance because Jordan did, like he's cool, right?
Right.
But you're probably not a dancer. Like you need to go find that thing in you that it comes easy. Like it's just easy for me to come and show up and be an encourager, right?
Yeah.
But one, I would say start asking questions around people, your friends, not family. But ask friends and then just ask them, why am I your friend? Like, what is it that you see in me? What is it the thing that you would come to me the most for? Start there. And then once you do that, I would say create a project for yourself.
Okay.
Like in your gifting, what is that? So if I'm a dancer, can I start a dance circle? Meaning like, can I get 5 friends and every week we get together and we create a dance routine? But create something, a project or something like that, and then share it with other people. Right now, you can share it on social media. And it doesn't matter if you only have 3 followers or 5 followers, because it can only take one of those followers to be like, man, I'm going to share this. And they may have 1,000 followers. Now you got exposure to maybe 30 out of the 1,000, because, algorithms doesn't say you're going to reach all 1,000. So So yeah, man, I think it's just starting and ask other people. Like if you don't have a clue like what to start, but you maybe have an idea of what you're good at, ask other people.
Yeah.
Message me.
So
Heady Coleman on Instagram. DM me.
He's such a good promoter. Yeah. That is so dope. Go win.
Go win. Yeah, come just DM me.
So like even knowing you now, you know what I'm saying? Like you being a super positive person and like a culture creator and everything like that, or curator, like how do you like has there been any like struggle at all, like either growing up or trying to find your voice or trying to find what makes you love being around people or bringing people together or anything like that?
Struggle is there? If you ever put together an event, there's a struggle.
True.
So and there's anytime you're working with people, there's a struggle because we're all broken. For me personally, and then when you do recognize, man, I have this one gift, but these other things I have to move in order for me to move forward in life. There's challenges because I'm not very good at some of these. Like I'm not the best follow up. I have 1,000 text messages that I have not responded to, right? So I'm not very good at that. And following up is a big piece of having healthy relationships. But it's one of my biggest challenges. But I love people, but it's one of my biggest challenges. Like finances, managing, like when you're an entrepreneur and you got to manage monies and taxes and all those things. Like for me, those kind of things are challenges. And so if I don't bring other people into my life to help me with those things, I fail miserably. So, and those are all things that I'm constantly working on. Being consistent in God's word is a challenge. And for me, that's the thing that transforms a life. Like the Bible talks about renewing your mind, and then you're transformed. Then it says this, it says you will know the good and perfect will of God. Like that's how you move forward in life, understanding what God's will is and things for my life. That's done by renewing your mind. If I'm not consistent in renewing my mind, it's hard for me to navigate life in the way God would want me to. So I'm always failing and having challenges.
That's real.
But I'm thankful for His grace. I'm thankful for His mercy. I'm thankful for people who remind me that I matter and that God loves me. I'm thankful for my wife who stays with me even though I'm a broken person.
Definitely, definitely, man. And so you find in your why, you found your purpose pretty much through loving people. Yeah, would you say?
I wouldn't say that because everybody's supposed to love people, right? So, but when you get down to the specific of who I think that I am, I think I'm an encourager. That's a gift, right? So the Bible talks about different gifts that people have. I think I'm an exhorter, like I encourage people. And so my why is to help people go further down the road better through encouraging them.
That's good. And so even being an encourager, it bleeds into your family, I feel like. And so like your son is what, the president of student council? Yo, like he's a mini you. You know what I'm saying? And so like how do you like see being being a leader within your community translate to even being a leader as fatherhood?
So for me, parenting is I may think about it a little bit differently. So the Bible talks about once a person marries, they leave the home, right? And they leave the home based on the abilities that God's given them to be able to do that.
Right.
So for me, I try to set a great example for my kids on what that looks like to live out the life based on who I am. So I just let my kids watch me, and I love them, encourage them just like I do everybody else. Loving my kid, for me, like they're my kids. They're a gift from God, but they're no different from anybody else. I just gotta love them little suckers.
That's real. That's real, bro. Because even you got a phone call. I was with you when you got a phone call, and he got brought out his class or something like that. And then you were talking to him I thought you were talking to a grown person. Like, you think this is a good idea? Yeah, you think this was all right?
I mean, he's my son. I have a little bit more responsibility, but he's no different than anybody else, man. Like we're all brothers and sisters. In my mind, as a Christian, right? We're all brothers and sisters in Christ if you belong into this body. So he's my brother. He's my brother that I get to father. My wife is my sister that I'm married to, right? It's all kind of weird. Real weird, but I believe in Jesus.
That's what's up, man. Bro, I really appreciate your time, man. I know you're a busy guy, and so I want you to stick to the productivity. So we're gonna keep it on schedule. So I really appreciate. One more time, what's some places that they can follow you, your website, and all that kind of stuff?
You know what? Go to HeadyColeman.com/links, and you'll find everything.
HeadyColeman.com/links.
Go subscribe and follow me on YouTube.
The man's got his own podcast and everything too. Help him get to 100 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, 100 episodes.
And you can
Hopefully
donate
I'll
to
do
yours
that.
too, like a Patreon or no?
Yeah. You can donate through Anchor.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, you can donate it through Anchor.
Anchor, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Who do y'all use?
Right now it's just YouTube.
Oh, y'all don't have. You not on Anchor?
We're about to be.
Come on, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, so follow the man everywhere. Super great guy, great leader.
Thank you.
Community.
Thank you.
I don't know, orchestrator. I don't know how you do.
I don't know. Just community build. What do I say? I building community through conversations.
There you go. Follow the man. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the GNWY Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Go in.